Good morning. Welcome back to Entrepreneur Country TV, edition 12. Well, we spoke about Saudi Arabia last week, and if we needed any more evidence that the world is going to be an interesting place and a tense world in 2016, we saw the eruption between Saudi and Iran this past couple weeks. And indeed, security in all of its manifestations in the physical world between businesses as an online investment activity is going to be a major theme. In fact, it was at the CES show that most of us have come back from over the past couple days in Las Vegas. Security is becoming a layer. We, of course, have our position in Secure Any Mobile. We introduced you to Jana Hamill, who's part of the management team there in the Thanksgiving edition. But I caught up with Kathy Schneider, who's the head of product and marketing at Level 3 here in Europe. And Level 3, through its Black Orchid acquisition, is making security a layer in the network architecture. This is both hot startup investment arena as well as large company tech arena. Every large IT company is focused on attaching security to their main proposition that they're selling into businesses. Security, the investment, the acquisition, and the understanding of it is going to be one of the major themes in 2016. When I think back to 2015, I have to say one of the most interesting companies that I've spent time with over the past couple of years has been the Group Silverline success story out in Somerset. I was introduced to James Goddard-Watts, the founder of the business, by Patty Ashdown. James is one of the children of John and Judy Goddard-Watts, who founded Screwfix decades ago, which of course was a very successful exit, but more importantly, it's become a household name. And it shows the importance, the kind of supernova effect of successful businesses, because as they do well, the management, the executives that come through, the entire kind of crowd of people that make a company successful then go on and become successful in their own right. Now, James was hugely important in Screwfix, and with Group Silverline, he's created a £45 million revenue business with his incredible management team out in Yeovil. And they're doing that not just by selling power tools online, not just by bringing creativity into the do-it-yourself sector and so forth, but they're taking the view that there's an ecosystem to enable with technology and business models, clever use of data, empowering the high street retailer who wouldn't have the ability necessarily to invest in technology or to think as big and to operate on a global level. And that's what James and Group Silverline are doing so well. Congratulations to the entire team over at Group Silverline for such an amazing success, showing that you don't need to be in London going to networking events every night. You just need to know what to do and enable your ecosystem. There are so many examples of David and Goliath dancing. And when David and Goliath dance really successfully, I like to bring it to your attention. Now, Mendeley, you may remember, was acquired by Elsevier a couple years ago, and they were the academic network helping researchers, academics, to share in an open way their work. And what's interesting about the acquisition is not that they were seeking to be acquired. They were acquired because they weren't trying to be sold. They were acquired because they were working together in that collaborative way, building a digital P&L for Elsevier. Elsevier was coming to the conferences of Mendeley. Mendeley had offered the API to Elsevier. And the venture capitalists, Passion Capital, Access Industries, who put the money in, didn't make 25x. It didn't become a billion-dollar business. But in a tight period of time, they invested in a digital enabler, which is helping an excellent publishing company like Elsevier become a platform. That's what we mean by ecosystem economics. It helped the individual, the academic, the researcher with the data they needed. Mendeley was the digital enabler, which then used that data, helping Elsevier, who was the highway, to become an open platform. That's what we mean by David and Goliath dancing. That's what we mean by ecosystem economics. As we come out of the gate in 2016, we see that well and truly the world is being redesigned. And it's not a nice, neat conference in New Hampshire called Bretton Woods, where a couple of guys get together and just put a blueprint in place. We saw right before Christmas the Open AI initiative, a not-for-profit with Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, Reid Hoffman's billion investment to fuel a good for the world approach for AI, contrasted with how the EU, in a kind of top-down government approach, has decided to create a digital single market, to strip out a lot of barriers and to make a unified single digital currency, if you will, in Europe. These different approaches are going to be contrasted, and everywhere we're going to see a tension between the individual and the state, between the way we collectivize and the way that we assert our individual identity at work. This is going to be one of the major themes of 2016. We're now 2 months away from the Entrepreneur Country Forum on the 7th of March at the Royal Institute of Great Britain on Albemarle Street in London. I do hope that you will join us. We'll be announcing that day the winner of the Build a Country Challenge focused on the smart home. We've had entries from all around the world, from entrepreneurs that are focused on innovative, ingenious applications to make your smart home more comfortable, more creative, more real, more connected. In addition, we'll be releasing new thought leadership, and we'll be having input from major players in the property, the comms, the energy space that are talking about their requirements for the smart home. Follow us at Entrepreneur Country. Participate in the Build a Country Challenge Smart Home to get a better understanding of what your home will be like in the future. I hope to see you there on the 7th of March. So that brings us to the end of edition 12 of Entrepreneur Country TV. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sharing, and see you next week.